that shows that I'm paying into the Medicare, into the Medicare that they just removed.
Okay, can I answer
Can
that?
I?
Yes. Okay. So now what it is there's three sets of retirees, right? They are the ones that are on Medicare, which is us, which is 65 and over, or if you fall under disability and then you end up on Medicare, right? Then you're under the Advantage, and that's 65 and older, and if you fall on disability, right? Then there are the pre-Medicare retirees, which are 55 to 65, right? And then there's also the group of retirees that are going to be coming out into retirement shortly, right? So now the if he's over 65, he was under the 80-20 split,
All right,
right?
stop,
That
stop,
means
stop,
Wait a
stop,
minute.
stop,
That's
sir,
not what he's asking.
stop.
He's asking. Wait a minute.
I'm
Wait. Let me help. He's trying to understand the 2% that he's paying into
Okay, all right.
the.
I
Hold
can answer
on.
that. Okay,
Wait. He's trying to understand where does he find the information for the 2% that he's paying into for the Medicare Advantage. Where can
there's
he
there's
find that?
there's no 2% for the Medicare Advantage. The 2% is only for 55 to 65 for pre-Medicare retirement. After you get to 65, or if you fall under disability, then you're on the 80-20 split. The government pays 80 and the employer pays 20%.
okay. So my question is,
Where do you find it?
as
You
an
find it
active,
on the executive board.
as an active member,
Yes.
where do I find the document that shows that I pay into the coverage that they just removed?
Okay. Your check that says FICA, it says
Right,
Medicare. It don't say
right.
Medicare Advantage. So that's one document, right? And
No, that's not
also,
what he's asking. He's talking about the 2%. The
yes,
2%.
it's on his check.
Okay.
It's on his check. That's where you find
The
that you paid into it. It's on his
it
check,
should
but
be it should be on your check stub that
It
you
should.
just sent. But
On
it's
the
when he
it's
paycheck
wants to
stub.
know the amount, the only
it's
way you can get that amount is like me go walking into the bank without no money in the bank and tell them, give me $10 million. Until this union is held accountable and there's a forensic auditor taken into that building, all of this stuff will continue. All right? I'm going to give you guys a heads up. He's not here. Dennis Boyd was on the board. When we left office in 2010, there was a surplus of $31 million. Where is that money? You guys, active guys, should be asking.
This is what I'm
This
saying.
is
So I want to know where as a member can I obtain those documents? I supposed to have a way to or review everything that comes out of Local 100 because the LMM2's supposed to have every dollar on its
yes.
pay.
Okay.
Okay, so wait, let
Okay.
me answer this. Wait, let me
Yes.
answer this as an active member and someone
Hmm.
who's running for president of Local 100. You are not going to get that information
Right.
because the union is not going to give it to you.
Yep.
So there's going to be no transparency of where the money's going, how can you get it. That is all under the control of Richie Davis and his executive board, right? So they're never going to give that information until there is a new regime comes in, which hopefully everybody that's on here that's active votes for me for president. Until that happens, there will be no forensic audit. There will be no being held accountable because we have no way in. We're all on the outside arguing back and forth with the union about what it is that they're doing or what it is that they're not doing, right? There's no meetings held with us and the president and the executive board to meet to discuss the business of the union. So we have the name TWU, we have the shell of a union, but we don't really have a union right now, right? And so there's been a hostile takeover, And we are all paying into something and paying into things that we're not going to access, right? So the retirees can't give you that information because they're no longer here. But the problem that we have is that Richie Davis is the president, and that is the person that has to give the go-ahead to the recording secretary to release that information. They're not going to give you they're not going to give you minutes of the executive board. Even if you request it, they're not going to give it to you, right? So the only way to get that is that way. Now, that's the only way you're going to get that information, and that's not going to be given to you. Yeah. So that's where we are right now. And I think it's also important to understand this. To all the active members that are on here, the way they are going about giving back our benefits and basically putting us on the outside while they go in and negotiate and give everything back. We do not have any more elections to sit back and not be intentional about getting these people out. You know, it's criminal to go in and tell people, here, look, we've enhanced your benefits, and we're retirees explain, you know, their loved ones are being denied, were being returned away from rehab. People who have cancer can't get care, right? It's the retirees now, but next is us. We're up next. So we have to be very intentional in this current election cycle that we can't sit this one out and not participate. It's very important. So I hope that helps you to understand that you can't get that information because the union is in control of it.
I would like to, wait, I would like to say that there's another route to getting that information, and that is going outside of Facebook, outside of TW Local 100, outside of MTA, and going to outside authorities to report corruption. You could do it anonymously. If you do it and they actually come in and investigate, it's a wash for the administration because there's a lot of corruption up there.
Okay, we got hands up here. Hold on a second. We have hands up. John Giambavo, you got a question? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Okay. So I got a simple question. When is the Albany trip?
We haven't scheduled the Albany trip yet, but it's probably going to be sometime in November, and we will put it out there so people will know. And I'm looking forward to seeing at least 60 people or maybe more, even the active members, to go up to Albany. Because when she goes, she has the police department, retired detectives, the retired cops, retired fire department, retired correction. All of them are affected in that lawsuit that she has. Okay? Now, all right, Shampri, you got a question?
Yes. Is it possible right now there's a station agent pick, and also next month there's a CTA pick? If some of the retirees, because I've been personally telling the retirees when I go around campaigning about the issue and bringing light to it, if y'all can come out while the pick is going on and speak to members as well, and give them that firsthand knowledge of what you're experiencing, what was actually going on. Because Richie Davis is lying to members left and right, and in the station department, Kelly is right along.
Okay, so
it's as great as New Year's Day in the summertime.
Okay, William Ortiz, you got a question, brother? Let's.
Yeah. So I know in a video that I saw before with Mariana Pizzatola, she had mentioned that we had a contract that's very similar to the city's contract, right? And she stated the number of contract, but I've been having difficulties finding that. Yeah, I've been having difficulties like finding that contract because because when I search it up, it will give like a list of websites, and then it will give what Aetna is, I guess the benefits that they, not benefits, but just they'll pick and choose or nitpick what was in that contract, but I can't find the full contract because yesterday I had Richie Davis and the rest of his crew come. We basically got not into an argument per se, but debating the medical, right? And so what he was telling members when I asked him, hey, like the contract that you guys got from the provider, the members never got it. When do we get that contract? And he stated, and I have it on audio, that legal documents I don't have to provide to the members. We keep that at the union hall. Well, if you're negotiating for me, why can't I see that contract? That don't make any sense, or that legal document.
Okay, so let me just reply to that. Marianne Pizzatola seen Richie Davis and Tony Utano and Somos in Puerto Rico. She asked them before knowing that they were going to put us in there, did you guys read the contract and what it would do to the members? No. This was their reply. This is why I wish she could have made it, but she had other engagements. She seen them again and asked them the same question. They said no. What kind of damn leadership is that? That gives their membership something that they don't know anything about. So what is that telling you? This is why you guys have to get rid of these people. All right? And retirees, please don't hang up because we're talking to the active members because they can help us. They can get out there and help us because on this call, this is what I want to do. I want to get everybody out in front of that union hall, all the retirees in front of that union hall and protest and embarrass them. All the retirees that are seniors, that are not seniors, to show the people what this union is doing to us. I'm going to set a date. First, let me introduce you guys to my committee. Anita Clinton is on the call. You got Eric Garcia on the call. Lori Stout is on the call. And you have Julio Rivera, I believe he's on the call. We need to get out there and embarrass these people in front
Donovan,
of
don't forget Donovan.
Oh, Donovan Smith. I'm sorry, Donovan. I'm not mad at you. We all sat around one day and found out about this and went to a meeting October 6th of last year at the Marriott. They had hired security there. Mm-hmm. They told us we couldn't hold up our sign. This is how shitty this medical is. All right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. iPad 2, you have a question? You don't have a name to you. Just iPad 3.
Yeah, sorry. This is girly. Yeah, I need to ask, being that there's a contract as an active member under the new Aetna program, I should be able to, as a member, to request through the Freedom of Information Act a copy of that contract between Local 100 and New York City Transit Authority, since I'm an employee. Yes? No? Help me.
Well, I can't answer that question. Go ahead.
Well, you can request it through the Freedom of Information Act from the Transit Authority, but are they going to fulfill it? Right?
Well,
you can request it.
That's
but
when
another thing,
fulfill the request. There is nothing in the Freedom of Information Act that says that it gives them a timeline. They're going to postpone and drag along the request.
Right. And another thing with what has been put before you, the Aetna 1, Aetna 2 option, they still have that stuff up posted. Well, they started taking it down now. You can't find it anymore. But on some bulletin boards, because I took a copy of one off of a bulletin board, where it shows you the what it is that they negotiated. It's the same plan that they have in the city. So if you look up if you ask Marianne Pizzatola, she can provide it for you. It's the same exact thing. So it's nothing that we have. Yeah, it's nothing that we have that's any different from what the city employees have. The only reason why we're not a part of their fight is because we're state employees, right? Had we been city employees, we would have been right along with them, fighting to get back our retiree medical from the city. But we're state employees, so we're under the governor, and that's why, we're in the situation that we're in and having to mount our own fight.
Okay, let me just ask, is Ann still on the call? Ann, are you still here with us?
Yes.
She may
Yes.
Okay, Ann, do you think that, is there any way we can get what they're asking for, the Freedom of Information Act?
So as Evangeline and everybody said, they're going to delay that process. What you can do is if you go online you have to be a retiree, but you can go online and there are plan documents that you can get. One of them is called Evidence of Coverage. It is I have it right here. It's about 130 pages, okay? That's going to give you a lot of what's in the Aetna contract, okay? It's a lot of information. The second part that you can get it's also on the site, and it is called the Schedule of Cost Sharing. It's about 50 or so pages, and that will have approximately 90% of the information that's in the contract. And I will tell you, as many of you know, I came from the employer side, but I also sat on the theatrical union, IATSE's pension, welfare, and annuity funds for many of the unions in New York City. Those contracts that are negotiated between the employer side and the union side are generally not distributed. There's a lot of stupid stuff in there that wouldn't be important to you, but 90% of what was agreed upon will definitely be in these two documents. And if you read them, you will understand the plan. You will pretty much understand that the plan they gave you, even though they call it a PPO, a preferred provider organization, is similar to an HMO because it has all these gatekeeper rules. Read the Evidence of Coverage document. It will give you a lot of information as to exactly what was negotiated.
Thank you, Ann. All right, I have a question up on the screen. Does this also concern retirees on SSD? Yes, it does, because you are on Medicare. And because you work for New York City Transit Authority, you fall under their plan, which is Medicare Advantage. All right, Shampri, you got your hand up again?
Yes, I do. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention. The governor is also under fire. She's about to lose Buffalo, Binghamton, and somewhere else upstate. It's about to be a Republican sweep up there. Have you thought about going to talk with the Republicans, since she's under fire and she can potentially lose this term, about basically starting a fire? Make her actually believe that she has no chance of winning, to put pressure on the MTA to change a lot of their, basically change this deal.
Okay, let me just say this. This is my personal opinion. It's not the group. First of all, I forgot one of our committee members, Pat Jewett. She's one of our committee members. I totally forgot. Sorry, Pat. But this is my personal feeling. The committee, the TW Local 100R, has nothing to do with this. This is me. I do not trust politicians anymore. I really don't. We can go up there and we can scream and holler at them, and they can shake our hand and we could give them money. And then when the shit hits the fan, they turn their back on us. All right?
Right.
But it's an excellent idea. I would have to bring that to the committee when we get to, first, first let's get to Albany to get those local
Right.
people. We get the local people. Go ahead, Evangeline.
I can't raise. I was trying to raise my hand. It won't let me. Probably because somebody made me the admin. But what I wanted to say was, I think the idea of the rallying in front of the governor's office instead of local 100, or if we wanted to do both, if we started out at local 100 and then we went over to the governor's office, actives and retirees together. I also believe that we need to stop talking about this issue as a retiree active issue. It affects all of us, right? So if the retirees are rallying at the Union Hall around retiree medical benefits, those are our benefits too. And we may still be active right now, but at some point we're going to retire and it's going to affect all of us. And so we need to all support. And that's what we've been pushing for, is that more active members understand that this fight is for your medical coverage as well, right? I met a woman today. She said she'll be retiring in 2 months, right? And she was thankful that somebody was doing something about this because she didn't know. And so it's some retirees believe that the active members knew that they were giving up retiree medical and that it wouldn't affect them. A lot of people genuinely and honestly did not know, and they still don't know and understand. We usually have to repeat ourselves over and over and over again just to get them to understand how this works. How do you give up Medicare if it's a government benefit that we all pay into, right? People don't understand that. So it's really important that whatever rallies we're planning or whatever we do it, that we do it all together, to show our, that we're all in agreement that this is a problem. One of the things when I met Marianne Pizzatola, that she wished she had an active member who was concerned, because their retirees are fighting it all by themselves, right? At least at Local 100, we've been able to wake up our membership to realize that this is their benefits too, and that they have to do something about it, right? So we have that going for us now, that our active members do know and understand. We just have to move together as one organized unit and something will happen. I think right now the governor is concerned about being reelected. Taking the fight to her doorstep and demanding that they do something about the retiree medical and that she has to do something about it has been overturned in the city. It needs to be overturned in the state. And at 195 Montague Street, I think we can do both, and we should be moving soon to do these rallies to make sure that they understand that, that we have a problem with what they've done.
So can I ask for the lady to put the information to get those documents from the insurance company so that we can give that information to the members? These people got to see this stuff. We talk about it, but when we go out, we don't have no documentation to support what we're talking about. And
No,
this
we've printed out we now take out with us the lawsuit, which has all of what it is that we're suing about and the oral argument of what the union is saying about it. Right. And we leave it around.
That's what I'm saying. So to address the situation with the retirement medical, we need that information that the lady was just speaking about, that the evidence, that so that we can address it with the members, even on a one-on-one daily basis at our different locals, at our different locations, where we can talk to our coworkers and say, listen, this is what we have. This is what's going on. You need to see that this is going to affect you when you retire, whether you retire in 2030 or you retired in 95. This is affecting you.
I think it's as simple as sending out the PDF document.
Right.
We could email that to you today.
But please do. Please put it. We need this stuff ASAP.
Okay, I'll make sure you get it, girly. Mr.
Okay.
Blavo, you can go.
John, John, he left. Okay. Are there any more questions? Are there any more questions? It should be plenty questions.
Yeah, well, she said I could speak, so I just have a simple question. It's probably a very entailed question, but has anybody ever done the math of just giving the finger to the union and to Aetna and say, you know what, we're going to pay for our own Medicare and we'll get our own Plan B? Has anybody ever thought about that? I mean, that.
Well,
go ahead, anybody.
Go ahead. Well, from what we're told, and I consider Marianne an expert, if we get the wraparound, which we say after the 80 for Medicare, it would cost us maybe $2,000 to $3,000 a year for that 20%. Now, a lot of us, we get our pension, we get our Social Security, and we may not be able to spare that extra $200 extra a month. Okay? And why would we even do that if we know that we were under a plan that the MTA, that Medicare was paying 80% and MTA was paying the other 20%? Why the hell would we let them get away with that? To save them money.
I understand that. So you're saying about it's going to cost us around $2,000 or $3,000 a year, but it seems to me that sooner or later we're going to be paying that anyway under the Aetna.
Anyway,
you know what I mean?
Well, let's be a little optimistic, all right?
You can't be optimistic.
Okay. Let me finish, please, girlie. Let's just be a little optimistic that this judge is going to do the right thing. Because from my understanding, his mother's a teacher, and Marianne is fighting for the teachers too. But Richie Davis also said his father's under the plan. Why would he do that to his father? So that really that's mute. So, but let's just be optimistic and be ready when his decision comes out, so that we can be ready to go to court. And another thing, if this is done, it's going to be an in-court situation. There should be standing room only when that happens, if you can make it.
I just want to say that, especially for you, girlie, if you want to go and talk to the members about what's happening, this is not the first time. This is not the first union. They started with the city unions first. They've been at it for 3 years. So people need to understand that this is long-term. We're not the only union. The city unions have won 9 times, but they keep appealing. And if anybody can just pick up a newspaper or go to Google and Google the Aetna Medicare Advantage plans and the retiree fight back, you'll see a whole lot of articles about that. I know that transit workers are not big on reading stuff, but for those who do want to find out and inform themselves, Google has the answer to all your questions.
Okay.
In fact, why don't we just put the PDF documents in the chat right now? Drop them in the chat.
Okay, you did that already, Donovan?
No, I'm saying if we have access to it, I'm in between my computer and my phone. I'm with the Zoom call. But as soon as I get off, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so we'll get the documents. All right.
If anybody got access to it now, just drop it in the chat.
I don't have access.
I don't have access to it. Where the documents at that we can post here? Where will we find it at?
It's on the Aetna website on the when you log in, then you can get you see plan documents and then it's evidence of coverage.
Okay, but I can't. I'm not a retiree yet, so I don't have access.
Okay, all right, okay.
I
I'll work
I
on
got
that.
another idea. They hand out to the membership. Um, we can post it, the front cover, and hand it out as Dan, and start giving it out to make the members read it. Put Dan on the front of it, make it look like an actual Dan to get the members to actually read the information.
We
The
got
active
jokes.
members.
Somebody got jokes,
Like a version of clickbait.
right?
Yeah, that's good material. They're going. You start walking up to people like, yo, here's your Dan. They're going. For me, I got a Dan. They're going to want to read it.
They'll read the first two lines and then throw it away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aggravating.
All right, guys. With that said, we have somebody that's been supporting us from the very beginning, since October 6th of last year. She's the candidate for you active guys for the next president of Local 100. She's getting a lot of beatback. I was out with her today, and there was a lot of resistance from the chairman in the depot because he supports the depot. The ex-chairman got a job with Richie Davis, so they tried to chase us off, but she stood tall, and we stayed there. Evangeline, if you want to give them, you want to introduce yourself, and any retiree on here that can hear my voice, if you know an active member, you need to tell that active member when they get their ballot, don't leave it on the dresser, don't leave it on the counter, don't leave it in the mailbox. Get that ballot and vote, preferably for Evangeline. She's the only candidate that's been out here helping us and fighting with us. So with that said, Evangeline, you want to talk to us old people?
Yes. So I was following the Medicare Advantage fight in the city, and I had started talking about it to the membership that we needed to pay attention, that if this was happening to the city, that this was actually going to come to us. At the time, everybody told me I was crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. We're state employees. And because I'm heavily into labor, I understood that if the Municipal Labor Council was making a move, and TW Local 100 is a part of the Municipal Labor Council, and they voted to give back city employees retiree benefits, why would they not do it to us, right? And so they went on ahead and they did it. And so we went to the retirees event that they had at the Marriott. At that event, they lied to the members. Myself and Celso Garcia, I don't know if he's on here, but we stood there and we handed out flyers to the retirees to help them to understand that they no longer had Medicare, because they were still under the impression that they had access to Medicare, right? And so when they were leaving out, we were giving them the information to help them to understand that, no, you don't have Medicare anymore. And this was very serious because some people actually had chronic illnesses that would only be covered under Medicare. They knew that they would be covered under, any other plan. And as a result of that, we just kept pushing and fighting on. But I want to say this moving forward. The resistance that I've been getting has not been from the members, right? The members of Local 100 have not resisted. I've been welcomed into all quarters or sections of the department that I've gone on to. No one has chased me away except for management, right? This is the first time since me being at Local 100 seeing management insert themselves in our election. They actually put out information or a memo stating that now members have to contact management in order to go and campaign. Of course, I'm not complying. I understand complying with that because I know the rules. However, the fact that management did that and made it very clear you can't go certain places. You got to be able to be approved to go around, and that's not true. That's not the rule, right? And that's not the law. However, the union and management is working together. They're handing members over to management to be terminated. I'm currently PDS, was set up by supervisors with a customer complaint, falsified report on my behalf. not on my behalf, but from management about me. And so those are some of the things that I'm dealing with. But I'm not deterred from it because I understand that this is very, very, very important. And what I've been trying to convey to Tier 6 is that all of the benefits that we have, everything that we have in our contract that we currently enjoy, all of that came from you all that have come before us, right? You struck, you labored, you negotiated contracts so that we can have the things that we have. And since Samuelson's coming into power, you see a decline in our contractual gains. You see all of the give backs. It's been a consistent give back throughout, and not only contractually, but what has been happening outside of the table. We don't even know the length and the extent of all of the give backs that have been given back since since Samuelson, Yatano, and now Richie Davis are in power. So we're in serious times. I'm encouraged. The members are engaged. They're taking down the telephone number to call to get their ballots. We've been explaining to them, and we've been out every day trying to compel them to understand how important this is. So hopefully we get an overwhelming turnout of the vote, and I'll be your next president of Local 100. Thank you.
If you become president, let the retirees vote. We pay dues.
What the retirees? What?
Let the retirees vote in your elections.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, of course. Then that would definitely help. People who have a vested interest in ensuring that our contract. Have any questions for me?
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask everyone who thinks that they might take a ride on the bus whenever we do have it, please leave your contact information in the chat. How can we get in touch with you? However you want, your phone number, your address, or your email address, so that we can contact you, because we want to fill up these buses. Thank you.
Okay. Gator, you want to say something?
Yes, if it's all right. Hello, everybody, and thank you for everybody being here. Mr. Joseph Odom, thank you. Good to see you, my brother, the chairman and former chairman of Gun Hill Depot. Good to see you. One thing that I did notice is that the executive board does not have a member as a retiree. In your charter, it clearly states that you guys are supposed to have an election to nominate an executive board member. We have discussed this, me and Evangeline, and we feel strongly that the retirees should have a member, at least one or two, on the board. So when we are elected and we are your union officials, you guys will be entitled to an election. And with that election, you guys will nominate maybe one or two individuals to represent you on the e-board, so your voices will be heard. This is something that the union did not allow you to have. It's in your bylaws. The reason why it's not is because as long as they don't have the election of a member from the retirees on the e-board, you guys have no say. They have full autonomy and full power over your rights. That is wrong. I'm sorry, no matter how you slice it.
Well, you're mistaken, because we do have a non-voting person, retired person on the e-board. So it's not like they have a voice, but it's a
non-voting person.
That's right. But we do have a person on the board.
Right, but it's non-voting. You should be empowered and have the privilege of voting on things that represent the TWUR.
Yeah, but the e-board has to change that. The e-board has to change.
We will put a motion to the members of the e-board that you guys have the right to have a voice in your own respected union.
So basically what Agata is saying is that we've already started to review the areas where, like, there's many areas in the contract where certain departments, right, because of their size, they don't have representation on the e-board. So we found, just looking at across the system, that everybody who's a part of the union should have a voice. If we are negotiating on behalf of retirees benefits or whatever it is, or if that's under our, care and control, then the retiree member that is on the board should not be a non-voting member. They should actually have a right to vote on their issues, and it should be more than one person.
Correct.
Right? Because it's 22,000 member retirees, so they should have some type of voice in what's happening concerning their portion of, what is taking place. But I also want us to understand that it's time for us to start to look at the fact that our union is way behind as far as how we're functioning. It's almost like an antiquated system that just needs to be overhauled altogether. We're still not doing electronic voting. Everything about our union is very, very outdated, right? If you look at the way that the structure of the union, as far as the union reps and how we're even functioning, it's really, really out of whack. So we've already reviewed and have gone over with our team and the people that are with us. So some of the things that we are going to propose to the executive board as recommendations of things that we need to present at the international convention to amend our constitution and bylaws, right? So that there are certain protections in there moving forward, just like the 106, the superintendent's union was able to safeguard their retiree medical benefits. We should have that same type of protection in our constitution and governance plan of our union, so that whoever comes into place, they can't just decide one day without even reviewing any document that they're going to give up medical benefits or things that are going to affect us all and that cause irreparable harm, right? So we've sort of reviewed that, but at this moment, there is a non-voting member on the executive board of the retirees, but we want to make it a voting member of the executive board.
I think it's really important to understand the history, because when Roger was the president, he never imagined that the retirees would be attacked. So he's the one that created the non-voting position for a retiree, because he never thought anything would ever happen to the retirees. So that's where it came from. Before that, we never had any retirees in any capacity on the e-board.
Wrong.
Well, hold on. Well, I just want to say this. Even if they weren't there before, as someone who will be a retiree at some point, seeing what an administration can do, if you don't have oversight or if you don't have these protections in place, we're going to lose. So if I come in and I correct everything and then someone comes in behind me and decides they want to give it up again, there would be no protection if we do not amend the Constitution to put our retiree medical benefits, that it would need a 50% majority, 50% of the membership to attend a mass membership meeting, 2/3 majority vote to change anything. If we don't get that, we'll find ourselves in the same situation again, right? So we understand that, retirees didn't have a vote before, but if you had a retiree who had, the freedom to speak and voice what was happening now on the executive board, things may be a little different. But there was no one to speak on behalf of the retirees, because that one board member is under the control of the president of Local 100. So we have to give our retirees a little something in order for them to be able to speak and oppose things that may be detrimental to the retirees.
The one person that was fighting this was Mike Citrone.
Gator, hold on. All right. Are there any retirees on here that have any questions for us? Please let us hear from you now. Please let us hear. Raise your hand and let us hear from you.
Hey,
I see
Lloyd,
we're losing people.
I got one.
Donna Williams. Wait a minute. What other options are? She's asking what other options. If you're still here, Donna, I'm going to let Ann Hackett explain to you what other options that you have on as far as medical is concerned. And can you explain to her any options and tell her why, if she opts out, that what's going to happen with this if she goes on Medicare?
Yeah. So Donna, here's what you need to evaluate. You can opt out of the transit plan. Right now, we can do it each year, but the transit could change those rules and say if you opt out of their coverage, it could be permanent. But what you need to evaluate is you have to look at a Medicare supplemental plan, which will pay the 20% difference. There are numerous plans out there, and it depends on which state you live in that determines what the cost and what they're going to pay. So for instance, if you're living in New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Maine, they are the only 4 states in the United States that requires them not to exclude a pre-existing condition. And the premium for that is the premium for that is higher in those 4 states for a supplemental plan.
And unmute yourself. I muted everybody so you wouldn't be interrupted.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So Donna, here's what has to happen. You have to evaluate a supplemental plan outside, buying that. There are only 4 states in the United States, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Maine, that do not exclude pre-existing conditions. All the other 46 states can exclude a pre-existing condition. When you buy a supplemental plan, there are numerous plans out there with different co-payments, different rules. It's the Medicare supplement. I think it's A through N. Premiums are determined by what your zip code is and what your age is, as well as your underlying conditions. New York is what's called a community rated, but you're in a fixed location. After you evaluate that, you then also have to buy a Medicare D plan, which is a prescription drug plan. And that is in addition to your hospital. So you're paying 2 premiums for outside to private companies, and you still have to pay Medicare B. So you're paying your Medicare B for your A and your B coverage. Then you're paying now for a supplemental plan, and then you're paying for a Medicare D prescription drug coverage. I just did the math for my husband and me. We live in New York. We live in northern Westchester. If we had lived 2 houses over, which would have been Putnam County, the premium for the supplemental plan would have been $60 less per month. We are looking at, for each of us, a premium each month, excluding Medicare B, what we pay for Medicare B. For each of us, we're looking at a premium of $465 a month to pay for a supplemental plan and for prescription drug. Now, it will be less in other states because they probably will exclude your pre-existing condition. You also have to remember that when you buy supplemental plans and you have Medicare as an individual plan, because these now would be individual plans, not covered by an employer, you then, on your prescription drug, you have a lot of co-payments you have to pay up front. In 2025, Medicare D, I'm sorry, which is prescription drug, is now having a cap of out-of-pocket $2,000. So if you are ill and you take a lot of prescription drugs, budget another $2,000 out of pocket for your prescription drug. So for my husband and I, if we were to buy a supplemental plan and we were to buy the prescription drug plan, we are looking at an additional $11,000 a year for us. Now, again, I'm not supporting that you don't explore this, because if you are in a situation where you are in the transit plan and you only have out of network coverage, you're facing a lot of money too. It's a cost benefit analysis. In the transit plan, there's no options. You either take option 1 or option 2, which are both the same exact plans, plan designs in the Aetna Medicare Advantage plan. The only difference is option 2 pays more of your Medicare B premium and has a few copays. Otherwise, they are exactly the same. So I hope that answered the question.
Don, I hope that answered your question. And if you need to, you can send it, and you have any problems, please send us an affidavit. All right. I just want to ask, we're going to take a consensus. Everybody that's on here, that's in the New York area, that would come on the bus with us to go up to Albany, just in the chat, just put the number 1 in so that I'll know. If you are willing to go with us, active and retiree. All right, just put the number 1 in the chat so we can just get a figure, all right, of how many people will come with us. And are there any more questions? Raise your hand or speak up.
I'm sorry, what's the date that you're going to Albany?
All right, we're just trying to figure out how many people we're willing to come, because we're gonna have to get with Marianne and see what date they're gonna be going. We want to join them. All right. I don't have a date yet. I'm just taking a consensus because this is the biggest quorum that we had since we've been given the meet and greets. And by the way, Anita, did we nail down a date? Is it the 27th that we're doing another meet and greet in Brooklyn? Anita, you might have bounced
I had
off.
to unmute myself. No, we don't have a date yet. We'll talk about this afterwards.
Okay, all right. We'll be talking about a date, and I have to get with Marianne to ask, because I want to join her and so that we can take some numbers up. Any other questions? Anybody have any questions, comments? Donovan, did we go over the time?
Do the affidavits need to be notarized tonight?
Well, all the affidavits that we have online, they don't need to be notarized.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Anybody have any comments?
I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined us today, especially the active members, and thoughts and prayers out to everybody in Florida.
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
Why is it that we don't campaign for just an option as well as changing the Medicare Advantage plan to traditional Medicare? Why can't we just have that option on the on when we make the changes every year? Anybody looked at that?
That is that's what we're asking for.
No. You're asking to change. I'm asking for options.
They don't want us to have traditional Medicare because it's saving money.
But I'm saying, why don't we just go to court as well as just changing it back to where it was to having an option?
That's
That is
exactly
what
what
that is
we're
what
That's
the
what
doing.
we're
argument is.
asking. That's what we're asking for.
That's, oh, I wasn't under that impression.
Yeah, we're asking to have the option of choosing traditional Medicare back because we don't want to take away the Aetna Medicare Advantage from
That
anybody
I
who likes it.
understand. I understand that. Okay, my point is that I was under the impression that we weren't going for the option. We were just going for them to take us back to the traditional Medicare. Thank you for the answer.
Right.
Let me ask, Mr. Briggs, what gave you that impression that that's what we're asking for? Mr. Briggs?
Briggs?
You gotta
Yeah, I'm
unmute
back.
yourself.
Yes.
What gave you that impression that that's what we were asking for and not the option?
You're muted, Briggs. You got to unmute yourself.
Because I've not heard that. I just heard about the fact that we were just moving to put that traditional Medicare back on, not the option.
I just want to say I do a lot of the writing and posting on our Facebook page, and
I'm not saying that you didn't, Anita. I just wanted to know. That's it.
Okay, but
I understand.
I feel like maybe I need to make it more clear if you were clear.
Maybe it's
Right,
just
that's
me.
Anita, that's exactly why I'm asking, because we do most of the posting,
Yeah.
and that's one of the first things that we make sure that we put in when we post is that we're fighting for the option. That's like, I don't, we'll figure it out, Anita. But I just wanted to see where he was coming from. You know what I mean? Because I'm like
And
confused
so we
too.
can make it, because everybody probably, there's a lot of people that probably feel that way. So we have to figure out how we're going to word things.
Exactly.
I got you. All right.
Exactly.
Any more questions out there? We still have 60 people on here.
So
Anybody else have any questions?
those 60 people, just make sure that you stay in contact with us. I posted the links to the Facebook page and the YouTube page, so you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Videos will be going up, and the conversations are always going on the Facebook page. So in the chat, you will see the link to both of those pages there. Please subscribe to the channel and join the Facebook page. If you have any questions, you can always go to the Facebook page and post it in there. All of us are there, so somebody will answer.
Okay, one more thing. I'll get you, Gator. Paul R., you still online? Are you still on the Zoom with us? Paul?
Yes,
Paul,
I'm here.
I'm asking for your permission. Your story you just shared with us. Do you mind if we make a video to that?
So, hold on a second. I was on Bluetooth. What do you need?
All right. I'm asking your permission. We're not just going to do it. The story you shared with us, right, about your wife, do you mind if we make a video and post it on our page?
No, go right ahead.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
That's a good testimony.
Things like this, stories like this, Paul, these bastards need to hear. Sorry, excuse my expression, but they need to hear stories like this because they swear that this is so much better, you know? But I appreciate getting your permission, and out of respect, I had to ask you. Go ahead,
no
Gator.
problem. Anything I could do to help, I'm going to do it. And look for the chief because I think they're going to print a couple of my letters.
All right. Go ahead, Gator.
Thank you. I just want to give everybody the heads up. The word is getting out. I have more and more active members right now coming to me and asking me what the hell is going on. And I just met with an operator the other day who gave me a piece of paper saying that Aetna is no longer going to service active employees anymore with docs. So I sent that letter immediately to Lloyd Archer. Okay, but I'm getting a lot of people, a lot of active members that are hearing the plight of the retirees, and they agree with you. And this is adding only fuel to the fire. Now, I've asked them, as well as active members, to make sure that they give to the TWR because that is our future. We're all going to end up as a retiree, and we all in this battle to fight together. And more people have promised me that they're going to go on TWR and donate to the cause. Second of all, every time Richie Davis, the current acting president, shows up at a depot or something like that, he drags his father out there to say how good his medical coverage is under Aetna Advantage. So I've asked every single member in all those garages, there's 22,000 retirees. Can Mr. Richie Davis bring somebody other than his father to stand up there and talk about Aetna and how it's advantage to them? And they all sit there and they all question themselves, why is it that he's always touting his father, but never bringing anybody else? Now that seed has been planted and people are starting to see it more and more.
Thank you,
Like to ask a question, Lloyd.
Say that again?
Lloyd, I'd like to ask the question.
Sure.
Anybody on the committee willing to volunteer? I've been going to a lot of group retirement breakfasts and things like that. Giving a heads up, join me and I usually at these retirement breakfasts and things, there's over 100 people. Picnics, whatever they're doing, it's well over 100 people. Would anybody volunteer to I get in touch with them, tell them a date that I'll be going, and join me on going to these here retirement events?
Okay, this is what we just did.
Wait, excuse me. I don't want to interrupt y'all, but we have to go off. I have to go off of the Zoom. So if you want to take back the handle, because I have to go off the Zoom.
Okay.
Donovan, he'll take you off.
Okay. All right.
So Wayne, we've started a steering committee. We put people in there that wants to help. And we're going to start educating them because I live all the way in Delaware. All right. And I came down for these last couple of days to help out Evangeline and pass the word out. So
Lloyd, I'm looking. Lloyd, I understand you can't do it all. You cannot do it all. But I'd like for someone besides yourself, if you can't do it, on the committee that can come with me to one of these events or to all the events that I might attend. And there's going to be a slew of them coming up between now and December. So maybe you guys can throw that around in one of your committee meetings and address that.
All right.
So could you post that list, like send it to us in an email?
No. I would want to get with that individual.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
And sit down and
that'll
talk
happen
with them. Yes.
Wayne,
yes,
are you
that will happen. So
Florida?
you know.
Wayne, are you in Florida?
No, I'm in New York right now.
Okay. But you're talking about Florida?
No, I'm talking about New York.
Okay.
I mean, Florida is another entity. I mean, there's people down there going crazy as well, but I haven't been able to get down there yet to address them. But I need somebody on the committee to hang out with me and go, okay? Perhaps put together some flyers, okay? Because some people, they're in a rush. They come in, the last breakfast I was at just the other day, people come in, say hi, boom, 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 and they have to leave. So a small flyer, brochure, giving them some information that would be welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. We'll bring it to the committee. Because that's a good idea. I might just have to make some extra trips. Are there any more questions or any more comments?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Anybody have any comments, questions?
I have a question. I
Okay,
came in late, so excuse me because I just got this late. I heard about donations. What are the donations for? And will there be full transparency of how it's being used?
the donations are for our legal fund. All right. We have to pay a lawyer. We had to hire a lawyer to fight this fight. All right. We have to, if we have to appeal, we need $64,000. If you go on the TWR page, you'll see what we have right now, or even go to the TW100.100R.org and you'll see what we have there, and you can donate also. So and if you have a problem with any of your medical issues, you need to, while you're on that page, you need to fill out an affidavit, and there's an address provided for you to send it so we can get to the lawyer.
Yeah, on that issue, Lloyd, I'm sorry for this, shouting out, but I'm having problems with Zelling the money over to you guys.
Right.
They're asking for a phone number.
Yeah, you need a Zelle number connected to the. You need a phone number connected to the
Exactly.
Zelle.
Exactly. So that's where my problem is at. Otherwise, you would have had a couple of dollars from me already.
You can send a check or money
Right, you
order.
can send a check or a money order.
All right. Well, okay, that's extra work, but okay, no problem.
I also want to address the money issue because we have administrative costs, such as we have a post office box that we have to pay for. We have a bank account. We have copies that we have to make. We have fees for the meet and greets. We have to rent those places out. Whenever we have a meet and greet, we supply light refreshments. We have to pay for that. So it's not just for the attorney, but that's where the bulk of the donations go.
Did she leave us, Miss Bolt?
No, she's still here.
Oh, okay.
Did that answer your question, Miss Shakira?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Are there any more questions? Any more comments?
Can you hear me, Lloyd?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, this is Joe Odom.
Okay,
And,
Joe, go ahead.
I'm down in Florida, and
okay,
I get calls from retirees as far away as Arizona who are having problem with their Medicaid, their Aetna Advantage. They're asking me for phone numbers of someone they can reach out to. Who should I be referring them to?
Okay, you can have them call. I'm going to give you a number. That's to this is to our organization.
Okay.
Okay, it's 929
Right.
247 7175.
I didn't get anything after 929.
I'm sorry, 247.
Right.
7175.
Okay.
And if there's any questions that I can answer, I will.
Okay.
All right.
Lloyd.
And if they're having serious problems, they need to go to the website and send us an affidavit.
Okay.
All right. And I'll explain that to them when they call. If I don't answer, because I have the phone, if I don't pick up in 3 rings, it transfers to somebody else that'll probably answer.
Okay. I have a retiree called me from Arizona, and he has prostate cancer, and he was dealing with one doctor, and the hospital that the doctor wanted to perform the procedure in doesn't accept the Aetna Advantage, and he was wondering what he should do.
Okay.
Wow.
We
Affidavit.
Yeah, we need an affidavit from him, and
Okay.
that's something else I'll talk to Mary Ann about. Or Ann, are you still here? You still with us, Ann?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And
Okay.
do you think we can get with Marianne and see if we can look up any hospital? What part of Florida is he in?
No,
He's in Arizona.
He's in Arizona,
What
Lloyd.
part?
Very limited, because actually I helped Marianne on this. We actually had somebody who needed the Mayo Clinic in Arizona. And Mayo Clinic does not accept any map whatsoever. So what we had to do was try to help that person find another doctor and another hospital system. Otherwise, they were completely out of network. Mayo will not accept any sort of map.
Wow.
So, and Arizona is not an Aetna territory. It would have to be if Aetna had, they buy satellite systems. They like Health First or one of them, they'll join on to them. So they'd actually have to check with Aetna to see if there's area coverage out there and what hospitals are accepted in those plans. That's the first thing they have to do. But I can tell you, this was something I helped Marianne with on it was Mayo Clinic. We actually had somebody in Arizona and we actually had somebody in Florida, and it was a huge issue.
Lloyd.
Okay, so yeah, hold on a minute, Wayne. So Joe, yeah, you can give them the number, and me and Ann, I'll get in touch with her, and we'll try to work something out, find some place for them to go. Because yeah, I keep hearing Arizona is not an Aetna town.
Not an Aetna town.
Okay. So you may have to travel they might have to travel somewhere else, or to the next state or whatever, to find out.
Okay, I appreciate any help you can give them.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Lloyd, quick question. That 929 number, can an active member call that number as well?
Yeah, they can call, yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Lloyd.
Yes, Wayne.
With that situation in Arizona, instead of a number and someone handling that individual, is it possible to do a Zoom from state to state?
You'll end up breaking your neck doing that.
Yeah, we invited people from out of state on this call, but being that we had 75 people on this call, we're gonna do it again.
Okay, I can alert some people in Florida. I can alert some people in Florida. Okay, fine.
All right.
Fine.
Lloyd, can I ask a question about the donations? Is it possible that we can get flyers addressing the active members, informing them about the fundraising and the actual activities? That's what's going on with the.
All right, I made 100 flyers today. Evangeline has them. She'll be out in the field and she'll hand them out. It's explaining why we need the donations and that we're in court.
Actually, I could use a lot of them. Lloyd, this is Wayne. I could use
flyer up, that donation flyer. So
anything you guys put up online, I'm sending to people that are interested. But like I said, when I just see people, I have them with me, I can hand it out.
Okay, and they're on our page.
Okay, it's on your page already?
Yeah, it's on your page, our page. He's going to let you see what it looks like. So
all right, please post it. Thank you. Please post it.
Hey, Lloyd, is it all right with you if I turn around and make a copy of those posters with my computer at home and on my printer and start handing them out to the active retirees?
Sure.
Someone wants to know if that number that you gave out, they can use that for Zelle, the 929 number.
Blunt, can they use the 929 number for the Zelle?
Yeah. What number can you use for the Zelle to donate?
No, Zelle works with your bank.
Yeah, Zelle's connected to your bank, and I'm not connected.
Yeah,
with
but
that.
it also, if you enter someone's phone number with Zelle, it that money goes to that phone number, which is associated with Zelle. Like if I give somebody my phone number, when they just Zelle me, they just Zelle it to me.
Wow,
So in other words, there has to be like a phone number or an email that you can look up when you
We
go to
already
Zelle.
have we have the email tw100r@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
what number is connected to that email? That's what they
We'd
need
have
to
to
know.
associate.
So they could
We'd
Zelle.
have to associate one.
Right. So when we get the
Exactly.
number for that, then they can put that up for Zelle. Right now it's not,
Exactly.
you can't use it
Right.
yet.
The email address they're asking for and a number.
Right.
All right, we're coming up with the flyer and for the active members so that y'all guys can see it.
Right now they have on the chat right now is two graphics. One is about us that's up, and the other one is the donations graphics that's up, so you guys can see. You can feel free to print the about us and give those out. Donations, just you can just look at it to be informed about that.
Briggs, you see that? Briggs?
No, I'm still in the Zoom. I'm still in as soon as I come out of the Zoom, I'll take a peek. But Eric,
You check it on it's on the chat. You can look at it while you're zooming.
Oh, okay, I'll take a look at that. But Eric, I'd like to talk with you about some things that I have in my head about more or less promoting the 100R TWU retirees, and to see what you think about these ideas that I have. Is there any way I can just contact you?
Yeah. So you can take my number down. It's
I'll text it to
We'll
you.
send it to
yeah,
Oh,
please.
okay.
don't have
All
your
right.
number.
Thanks, Anita.
Yeah, just make sure you type your name in when you contact me because I
Okay.
don't pick up the numbers I don't know.
That I understand.
Yeah, you can call me too. I also put my number in the chat so you can hit me up about coming out to visit some of the retirees. Okay?
Okay, fine. You're here in New York, is that not right?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Okay, cool.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Have a good night.
All right. Okay.
All right, guys. We're gonna end the call. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I guess the steering committee and the board. Are we going to talk on the phone today, or are we going to talk tomorrow?
I'm available.
Anita,
I
I'm
don't care
available.
either one. Either one.
let's do it tomorrow. I'll tell Donovan to put up a link so we can do it tomorrow, and I
Okay.
get back home. All right. But I appreciate everybody for coming. I hope this was informational. I hope that we can fix this before the end of the next month while open enrollment is going. I really want to thank Ann for giving you guys all this information. Ann, you rock. Thank you, John, for lending us your wife for this hour.
That's why I'm sitting right here. Make sure she's doing the right thing.
You was watching her, right? Don't worry, we ain't gonna steal her. Not while you watching anyway.
Hey, is Wayne still on?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Wayne.
Try to put up some dates about some references for that you have with the retirees, because I'm here in New York, and I'll be my wife and I will come down and speak with you.
Wayne, you're muted. You're muted, Wayne. You're muted.
Wayne, we can't hear you.
Some way, somehow, give me your number, your email address or something. And
All
hey,
right,
definitely,
we'll text it to you.
Definitely,
John, is
no
it all right if I
problem.
give him your
All
number?
right, yeah, no problem.
Lloyd,
Lloyd, you
If I
can.
just have, if I have a
Thank you.
list of names that if someone's not available, I can get someone else. And
Right.
I'm not alone because there, I mean, there's a huge number of these people and they have them, it seems like at least 3 times a month, three
Right.
times a month.
All right.
They're in Brooklyn, they're in Queens, they're in the Bronx. They're, yeah, those are the ones I've been attending, you know, so,
Like
you
I
know,
said, just give me a date and a time, and you know, so long as I ain't got no doctor's
fine.
appointment.
As soon as I get the heads up from them, as soon as I get the, you know, because it's a group. I mean,
Right.
it's a very, 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 very large group. So,
Okay.
and, you know, as soon as I get the information, I have your email or your phone number. I'll give you a call as well as Eric, Lloyd, whoever wants on the committee that wants to be involved, you know, I'll get them involved. That's no problem. But like I said earlier, it'd be great if we have a flyer. Doesn't have to be that large or whatever, just to hand it to people that are more interested than others. Okay. So, and I'm hearing things. I'm hearing things from different people that they are really, really concerned.
All right. What I'll do is I'll print the flyer myself, and I'll go get a whole bunch of them made up, and
I
just
can
so-
help you do that, buddy. You just give me some information. I can help you do that, or I can give you some money. We can
Yeah.
do that. Don't take that on by
I'll
yourself.
I'll take care of the flyers on this end.
That's
That
Eric
way-
I'm talking to. I'm talking to Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
Right, Eric.
Blunt's got to do it.
Okay,
He's gonna post it, and then I'll have a bunch of them made up here by me.
excellent, excellent, excellent. You tell me the time to pick them up or whatever, whatever, I'll be there. No problem.
All right, sounds
Thank
like
you. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for attending again. We'll be doing this again soon. And again, I appreciate everybody for being here. All right. Okay, Donovan, we can shut it down.
Hey, Lloyd, safe trip home, man.
Safe trip.
All right, thank you. I'm leaving in the morning. Thanks a lot.